Okay, Tim, we need to get you an update video. Show you how things are going here with Barkley. Give you guys a good look at your dog, see what we've been up to, kind of talk about where we are in our training and socializing and see how we're doing. So, the first thing that I'll say about Barkley is I feel very good. I feel very good about him being a good companion for you for a long time. I think he has some temperament that is very pleasant to enjoy. He's a dog who is affectionate. He is a dog who is attentive and responsive to me. And so I see a lot of good things that are sort of the important things that are built into a dog. So I think you're going to be in good shape. But then, this video is really kind of meant to give you an idea where we are in training. If you want to keep going, if you want to stop, whatever it is you want to do, that's up to you. I always say no dog is ever done training. There's always more we can work on. But it's really just a question of what's best for you. So anyway, the first thing that I want to point out is the most important piece of any part of our program is making sure your pup stays healthy. So Barkley has been in great health. He's had no problems with his stool. We've had no infections or any coughing. The coughing issue I know you mentioned, all of that has been no problem whatsoever. He is very playful and is playful with other dogs in his age group. And as a result, his dog collar did not survive the encounter of playing with other dogs his age. He also has, I noticed he's got a few little scratches here and there, which is very common, sort of some of the rough and tumble play with other dogs his age. It's all very harmless. It's very, very typical for dogs his age to be playful. We also spend a lot of time outdoors, and there's going to be little cuts and scratches. Nothing that concerns me whatsoever. Another thing you'll see dogs doing, especially this time of year, that's a health issue, is eating grass. A lot of people are concerned about their dogs eating grass. They think that means the dog has worms or there's something wrong with them. That's not the case. The reason dogs eat grass is because they can. And especially this time of year when the grass is growing, a lot of dogs like to eat some of it as it grows, especially the young, new, tender grass. They tend to snag a little here and there. It tastes good. So don't be surprised if you see Barkley eating a little bit of the grass. So that's not uncommon at all. A lot of dogs this time of year, in the spring, especially when it's growing and it's tender, you'll see dogs doing some of this. Anyway, if I do have any negative comment about him in terms of his personality, one thing is I do think he is going to be a digger. So if you have a yard where you are concerned about digging areas, you may want to keep an eye on that. I have seen him have a tendency to dig. He seems to enjoy it. Some dogs do it more than others. I don't think it's anything that's chronic and completely out of control, but it wouldn't surprise me if he does more of that when he gets home. So it's just kind of something to keep about. They dig in the flower bed sometimes, that causes a little friction with the misses, so we don't want that to happen. Anyway, so when it comes to socializing and training Barkley here, the first thing you'll notice is that he's happy to hang out around me. It took Barkley probably a day or two to warm up to me. He was not real excited about me at the beginning. And of course, there's some trust issues with any dog that comes from a shelter or any dog who's new to our place. It takes a little bit of time for him to kind of settle in. Barkley was pretty easy to win over. He's a pretty sweet dog. So, I can just let him loose and we can just run around and he can be in the yard being a dog. We call it go be a dog. Sometimes we call it doggy recess. And I don't worry about him taking off. He's not going anywhere. He's going to hang out with us here in the yard, especially. He really actually, I think he's kind of started to age out of some of the younger dogs. So Barkley is a little bit over a year. I think that's what we were thinking. And some of the younger dogs are a little bit more immature than him. And I can tell he's starting to get a little bit irritated with some of the younger dogs. I think he's ready to kind of like, all right, he's grown up. He's a little more mature than he's not a baby. He's not a puppy anymore. I do think also physically, speaking about his health, I think he has filled out some. I think he's got a pretty good build. we definitely want to make sure we don't have any puppies get too skinny. Barkley seems to have a good appetite, seems to eat well, so I'm pretty happy about that. What'd you find? Huh? What'd you find? Yeah, you're a good boy, aren't you? Yeah, you're a good boy. So anyway, I think Barkley's gonna make you a nice dog. He's gonna be a good dog to have around for a long time. I like having him around. He's fun. He's sweet in the house. He's just a nice little pup. So let's talk a little bit about training. Training, I think, is going okay. I would say it's going fairly typical. Training is not always fun. It is a bit of a chore. The dogs see it this way sometimes too. We try to keep it as fun as we can, but there are rules and things we want the dogs to do. The first training objective is that we've been working on is, of course, potty training. We want to make sure that the pup understands where to go to the bathroom. And so he sleeps in a crate every night, keeps that clean and dry. He can be in the house for hours at a time now and not have an accident on the floor. I can actually see him running around behind me. Got a little bit of the zoomies this evening. That's good. Happy, healthy pup. Aren't you? Huh? Barkley, hey. Yeah, that's a good boy. Yeah. So, anyways, he's got some good manners. We understand that we need to go do our business outside in the grass. That seems to be going quite well. I don't remember the last time we had any accident inside of the building. So he's a very clean dog, which is nice. We like that. So that's going quite well. The other thing, of course, is socializing with people is a big training objective at the beginning. You know, we spend a lot of time with dogs like Barkley. We have my wife, my kids, everybody hangs out with them. You know, that's all seems to be going well. He is, when it comes to cats, he is what I would describe as cat curious. He is certainly not aggressive. In fact, I would say it's actually quite rare for a dog to be truly aggressive to cats, or at least most of the ones I work with. It's pretty rare that they are truly like intending to hurt the cat. Barkley is very curious and is definitely doesn't exactly know what to think about the cat, but certainly doesn't show any signs of aggression for them. So all in all, that seems to be off to a good start. Hey, come on. So let's talk a little bit about obedience training. So the first obedience training objective is that we teach the dogs very strictly, don't put your feet on me. I do not tolerate a dog who puts their feet on me, because that is a sign of the dog trying to establish dominance. We do not want him to jump up on people. Now, even though, you know, Barkley is not going to be a big dog, he's never going to be able to knock me over. You know, if it was a child or something like that, you know, or someone who is, you know, kind of nervous about dogs, we don't want him to have the habit. There's the digging thing that I talked about. We don't want him to put his feet on us. So we don't tolerate that at all. So like when I'm walking around, hey, come on. So when I'm just walking around out here, you know, and I call him to me, I expect he will come to me and not put his feet on me, because we don't want that to be the habit. So that is an essential thing that we train very rigorously. We do not tolerate putting your feet on me. So that's a big one for me. So then the next thing becomes, well, what about some of the basic on-leash obedience? I want to explain how I do this so you can understand what I've been doing. What I use is what's called a slip lead. Slip lead just means that it is a flat leash that has a ring on it that slides. And so the idea is we want this to be, we're going to use very mild pressure, very mild stim for Barkley, because he is a pretty responsive dog. So the idea is when he is somewhere we don't want him to be, it will pull down tight, but then we want it to immediately slack and come off and stay loose. So we want the idea being that he experiences it being loose most of the time. Barkley, are you eating that stick? He's sitting here right by the camera eating a stick. Come here. That's a good boy. Good boy. Oh yeah, you got that stick, don't you? Yeah, we want to chew up this stick. Huh? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. A little bit of play is just fine. Huh? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You want to get this stick? Very playful, very happy dog. Yeah, you got him. Oh yeah. Yeah, you got that stick, didn't you? You sure showed him. That's a good one. So in a situation like this is a good example when we're talking about training here, where we want to establish good habits. Right here where Barkley is running around with a stick and he's being kind of crazy, I am intentionally not trying to say any of our obedience commands because I know there's a very high chance he's going to blow me off. Why? Because he's having fun with a stick. Okay, so he knows we are still introducing these commands, or what I would say is blaming us on the day job, but we are teaching the commands to him still at this point. Meaning he has heard these words, he has some practice with them, but he is far from having mastered the three main obedience commands. I want to show you what those look like. Okay, I know you're having fun with the stick. Okay. All right. Now, let's look down the lead there, bud. Good boy. Okay. I know, I have your stick. So in this case, I actually wasn't planning this, but this is going to work quite nice for this little demo. We're going to use the stick as a reward for him. So Barkley is actually a dog who's very easy to reward. He likes everything. So generally the two things that we use is food and praise and toys. And Barkley likes all of those things. He likes it when you give him food. He likes it when you give him love. He likes it when you give him toys. So he is very easy to motivate. That's a great thing for teaching because everything makes him happy. So we can have easy things to reward. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk on a leash. Now what I'm looking for on a leash is I want his nose to be in front of me and I want his tail to be behind me. And he is going to be on my left side right here like this. And we want to walk with the leash loose. We don't want him dragging us. We don't want a tight leash. We don't want him hanging out behind. We want a nice loose leash. Good boy. Yeah, you're going to go after the stick too much. So I'm going to set the stick off to the side here. We're paying too much attention to the stick. Not enough attention to me. It's okay. Come on, bud. Good boy. Good. So the idea here is that we are using very small, very abrupt little tugs on the leash. And that creates just a tiny amount of pressure on his neck to let him know, hey, I want you to change what you're doing. Like right there, he's trying to get that stick. And I want him to pay attention to being on the leash. Good boy. Good. So once we get him comfortable walking on a leash like this, we're going to start using a command. Okay, and the command, we don't say commands until the dog is already doing what we want him to do. So when he is walking politely on lead, we're going to say the command heel. Heel meaning walk by my side. Heel. Boy, Barkley. Heel. Good dog. Heel. Heel. Good boy. And actually his heel is better than his sit. You and your sticks. We like the sticks, huh? Okay, so when we come into the sit position, we're going to stop with him at my left side. Now what I want is I want him, when he is on my left side and I hold still, I want him to automatically sit down. And the way we teach that is I apply a little pressure right here, and I take my left hand and I push his bottom down. Good boy. Good. Good dog. Let's try that again. Apply a little pressure. And he's trying to figure out how to turn the pressure off. That's okay. We help by pushing down. Good boy. Good. You saw him spinning around there. That was him trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do? He was trying to respond to the stimulus. That's really important to me. To me, that is actually a measurement of what I consider intelligence, where he is trying to problem solve what is it he wants me to do, right? So I'm actually quite happy with Barkley in that regard. I think he is learning and making good progress, especially here in the last week or so. I feel like he's really kind of, you know, he and I have gotten on the same wavelength really well. We've been able to spend more time together in the house, been able to really kind of connect and get going better. But like I said, I think Barkley is going to make you a nice dog, so long as you can find him a stick. He's got to go find his stick over here. You need me to throw it? Okay. No, it's this one. This is the good one. Oh, that's the good one, huh? That's the good one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You gonna get him? Oh, yeah. So, anyway, Barkley's going to make you a great dog for a long time.